So today I was getting ready and I was just kind of going through my head like, oh, like what products do I feel like using today? I'm not doing anything terribly special. I just want stuff that makes me feel good. And not necessarily, I mean, hopefully hopefully I end this video looking good, at least looking better than this. But like products that really just are dependable, products that I really enjoy using, products that maybe have like nostalgia to them. So basically, I'm going to be doing like a full face of emotional support makeup. I hope this resonates with you guys because as I was thinking this through and I was like, you know what, I'm going to film this. I think we can all kind of relate to products that just make us feel okay about things. And I've joked about this little hamster like shearling bag that I have. He's called Lewis Hamsterton. Thank you to one of my beautiful subscribers here that suggested that name. But you know, I've joked that that handbag is like my emotional support handbag, and I do really enjoy carrying that bag around. He lays perfectly at my hip. When I put my hand down, my right hand down, it just lays right on that soft, fluffy shearling. And yeah, it just brings me not just joy, but comfort. And I've even pulled out my 42-year-old teddy bear here, Chester. I've lit a candle for us. We're just gonna be kind of taking it slow, kind of just talking about why these products just make me feel good. And, you know, a lot of them, like I said, are dependable products or products that I just feel very nostalgic about. A lot of the products that I'll be talking about today are products that have been in my collection a very long time and ones that I've just really come to appreciate. And I know when a product is an emotional support product when I actually talk to it like it's another being. Do you guys do that? I'll be like, oh, there you are. So we're going to start with some primer. And because I have dry skin, I really like primers that are very moisturizing. And the one that I went straight for when I was thinking about like, oh, what is like the most dependable product in terms of primer? It is this vitamin enriched face base from Bobbi Brown. I love this. I know this is not everyone's cup of tea. Again, I have really dry skin, so I like moisturizing primers. There's also a pretty strong like citrus scent. Citrus scents are amongst my favorites, so I absolutely love it. But I just really love how cushiony this product is. I really love applying this to my skin. It's just very comforting. And I don't need a lot of it. You know, I'm putting it on top of my skincare. But not only does it act like a great primer, right? It really smooths out my skin. It gives it that level of moisture that I need so that my makeup doesn't look too cakey or dry. But it just feels so good to put on. It's really soothing. It's really relaxing. And then that citrus scent, for me, it's very soul cleansing. Am I being dramatic? Yes. I'm being very dramatic, but I just love it. I really do love this primer. I mean, primarily because it is a great primer. It really does like smooth out my skin and prep my skin for makeup application. Okay, next up for foundation, of course, I'm going to be talking about the Dior Forever Stick Foundation. I have two shades. I have 1.5N and I have 2N, just kind of depending on, I don't know, where my skin is that day or whatever. But this has been one of my favorite foundations now for a really long time. And because it has this emollients to it, it's not like a dry kind of stick at all. It really glides on nicely. It looks slightly glowy. Like there's a little bit of, I don't want to say like a metallic radiance to it, but there's a really nice sheen to my skin after I use this foundation stick. And I was always afraid to bring it to climates, you know, when I was traveling to climates that were like a little bit more humid. I thought, oh, it's probably just gonna kind of melt off. Well, that is absolutely not the case. I brought this along with me when I went to New York and it was extremely humid. And I was like, oh, well, we'll see. We're gonna put it to the test. This held up so beautifully. And this has become my emotional support foundation because it's just so dependable, so dependable. So whenever I'm packing up my makeup bag and I'm, planning on bringing this foundation stick, I like open up the drawer and I'm like, where are you hiding? Come on out. You're going on a trip with me. That's how I talk to my makeup, like a weirdo. Anyway, we're gonna use 1.5 N today. And I do like applying this pretty generously all over. You guys know me, I like a light coverage foundation. This actually has pretty decent coverage, but it doesn't look thick and makeup-y. It doesn't look obvious. I just love it. I love it so much. And I'm using my Rephr B04 brush. Rephr is by far one of my emotional support brands. I love their brushes so much. Along with BK Beauty, you'll see me using their brushes a little bit later. Yeah, some other brushes I'll share with you, like ones that are really dependable. Sonia G, of course. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's like I can use this foundation if I'm in a rush, if I want a full glam look, if I want something natural. Like, it's the most versatile, dependable foundation I have in my collection. Now, in terms of concealer, you guys know I have been loving the Suku Creamy Cover Concealer. I was thinking about bringing that out for this video, but I thought, you know what? It's new. It's new to my collection, and it has not proven itself to be completely dependable in every situation under the sun. But you know what concealer has? The Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. I have been using this for so long, ever since it came out. So for years now. And sometimes I use this in lieu of foundation. Of course, when that foundation stick came out, I pretty much just go for the foundation stick now. But this is such a fantastic concealer. It has really great coverage. It has such a wonderful, creamy texture. You guys know how much I love this concealer. You probably were like yelling at the screen. Oh, she's gonna talk about the Dior concealer. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So anyway, I'm just going to apply this where I would normally conceal. And was I just saying this, that I sometimes do like to use this in lieu of foundation? I'll just use a concealer like this without any foundation and blend it in, and it blends out beautifully. That's how wonderful the texture is. It just blends out and like blends right into your skin so effortlessly. So I'm gonna use my BK Beauty A506 brush. This has become my favorite concealer brush. I do not like to go anywhere without this brush. Absolutely wonderful. This works with any concealer, a stick concealer or a cream concealer like this, or one in a pan. This brush works beautifully with all of them. There, the base combo of dreams, thanks to Dior. Okay, I'm gonna jump right to like a bronzer that I like to use. This is the Shade and Illuminate from Tom Ford. This is in intensity 0.5, which is one of the newer shades. I mean, this is old at this point, but one of the newer shades. There was only one, intensity 1, that was the lightest. When they came out with 0.5, I was like, oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect for my super pale skin. This cream product is so gorgeous, and I love using this as a bronzer because it is perfectly neutral. The tone is, it's not too cool where you can't use it as a bronze, and it's also not too warm where you can only use it as a bronze. So I love contouring, bronzing with it. It's absolutely stunning. So if I'm like short on space, let's say if I'm like packing for a trip and I can't bring like a contour and a bronzer, or like all these products, I need like one product for like multi-use situation, I will bring this guy because it's a great bronzer and contour. And I know that it's going to look good. Like it's like such a well-proven product in my collection. I just can depend on it. I know it's gonna do well for me. It doesn't interfere like poorly with other makeup. It's so good. So I'm gonna use this today. I've got my BK Beauty 109 brush, this gorgeous, smaller cream product brush. And I am gonna contour with this first. And then what I like to do is just take the excess from my brush and swipe it where I like to bronze, you know, middle of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and over my chin. I'm embarrassed to say too that I've had this particular product, this one that I'm holding in my hand, for a very long time. I need to just probably declutter this, throw it away, and get another one, but it still works really nicely. It still performs really nicely. Okay, so that's like the light contouring that I like to do. And then, like I said before, I'll just take the leftover on my brush and just use it like bronzer. Yeah, just kind of like warm up the high points of my face. Oh, but it's so good. It's so good. It like blends out so beautifully. The tone is absolutely perfect. I love this guy. I hope they never discontinue this. I love this so much. Okay, you guys know how much I love the Kogendo Natural Lighting Powder. I've been using this powder for years. Years and years and years. I think like probably 6 or 7 years at this point. This powder is absolutely stunning. It is not talc-free. I will mention that, but it is absolutely perfect. It is the perfect setting powder. It has just the slightest satin sheen. I've talked about this forever. This, I really wish they, of course I can like decant it myself, but I really wish they had like a little travel size version of this guy. That would make me so happy. Or like one of those packages where like the brush is attached and the powder's underneath and you just kind of shake it and the powder comes out of the brush and you just use it that way. That would be so handy because when I travel, I'm not going to travel with this. You know, I'm not going to be able to bring this along and I always miss it. I will use my Givenchy Prism Libre press powder. I love that press powder. It's so much better than the loose powder. After they reformulated it, not that great. But anyway, this loose powder, I can always depend on. It's so, so good. It's like an old friend, you know? It's like an old friend. It's like a hug in powder form. So I'm just gonna grab a Surratt brush. This is the Surratt, I believe it's called the cheek brush. They don't have them labeled actually on the brush, but I love Surratt brushes. This is another brand of, well, I love their makeup too, but this is another brand of brush that I absolutely love. Made in Japan, made of natural hairs, super high quality. Absolutely love them. So anyway, I'm just gonna use this because the powder brush I have from Surratt is actually dirty right now. So I'm gonna use this cheek brush and it's fine. I think this is big enough. Just gonna pick up a little bit and definitely set around my eyes. And because I have dry skin, I do like to use powder judiciously. Even if it's a powder that I know will look good all over my face, like this powder or whatever, I don't like to willy-nilly just apply it all over. So I definitely apply it around my eyes to kind of save eye makeup. And I will put it around the tip of my nose because that is definitely where I'm the most oily. And if I feel like, and if you have dry skin, I think you know what I mean. If I feel like my skin's feeling a little strong that day, strong meaning oilier than usual, I will put some like my forehead. Very rarely do I just like go in all over. Maybe if I put down like something really, really glowy and it's, you know, already kind of looking overly shiny, then I'll go in, but I usually save that step for last. But anyway, the Natural Lighting Powder, Kogendo, such a gem. This is such a gem. It's, oh, it's so good. Look at how it just makes your skin look really, really soft, really blurred with just the most subtle kind of like satin finish. It's divine. For blush, I have long loved cream blush, but the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks blush sticks, these are just such a long time love for me. I guess I keep referring to like when I pack, and I'm realizing that when I pack, I'm packing like my emotional support makeup because it's the makeup that is the most dependable. They're my best friends. They're my besties from my collection. And I very often pack my Baby Cheeks blush sticks, even if I have like more of a favorite at that moment. I'm thinking about like the Ilia soft blurring blushes. I love those, but this has been like such a long time friend of mine. I'll never forget when I got Petal. I mean, this was maybe 9 years ago, like when Westman Atelier first came on the scene, 10 years ago. And I just fell in love with it. I mean, the packaging is so beautiful. And what I find actually most interesting is her blushes, aside from one shade, her blushes have like just a very skin-like finish. They're not super glowy. And I love glowy cheek products, but I think because it's in a cream formula, I think that's at least what saves it for me. It really saves it from being, from looking too matte or too dry. I just love this formula. In this shade Mimi, which I believe is an exclusive to the Westman Atelier site still, is my favorite because it's just like the perfect nude. So I'm just gonna use that BK Beauty 109 brush again, and I'm just going to graze it along the top here and apply to my cheeks. So good. When I travel and maybe I cut back on like the brushes that I want to bring, So easy. I can use this with my fingers, just do the same thing with my fingers, graze it along the top and then just tap it on. So good. But do you see how it just has like this really beautiful finish to it? It's not especially like metallic or radiant in that way. It just looks really healthy. Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay, wow, we really have aspen cheeks going. Okay, so highlighter. One like low-hanging fruit here was definitely the Westman Atelier Lit Up Highlight Stick in Nectar. That one, absolutely. I love that one. It's actually upstairs. I'm so sorry. I was too lazy to go up and get it because I just packed it for a recent trip that I took to LA. And I will probably pack that for my next trip. But I was, I was asking myself, I was like, okay, well, what about a powder highlight? Do I have a powder highlight that is like my dependable bestie? And it's this Prada one. This is probably the newest product out of all the products that I'm talking about today. This is probably the newest one to my collection. I'm holding up shade 1. This is the one that works for my skin tone the best. And I just love it. I just love it. The formula is so amazing. It's a pressed powder formula, but there isn't a lot of kick up. It's not powdery at all. It actually reminds me of, and I don't know, this came to me the other day. This is a very, very old throwback, but do you remember? It's like I have to remember the name again. It was a NARS palette, and I think those were baked, and I loved these highlighters, but it was limited edition, and they never came back out with them, and I think it was like the Banque de Sable. Do you guys remember that? This is what the Prada reminds me of, and I can't believe it took me so long to kind of like put 2 and 2 together, but the formula and the way this highlighter behaves. It's so beautiful. Anyway, let me shut up and actually apply it. I'm going to be using my angled Surratt brush here. And this is also one of the cheek brushes. Again, I don't remember the name. Anyway, I'll link to everything down below, but this is the angled cheek brush. And Surratt does have a highlight brush, which is dirty, but it's a little bit more pointy. It's like looks like a candle flame. And I think what I loved about that NARS and what I love about this Prada is that the highlight, if you use it lightly, right, just sort of like one like light layer of it, it will look really kind of glossy. It'll still have like a little bit of like translucency to it, but you can build it up. And with just like a couple of layers, you can make it look really wet if you want. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood for that, right? That's like such an obvious highlight, but you can get there. But I love how versatile this highlighter is. And I think that's why I find it to be really dependable, because like no matter what mood I'm in, I could just use a little bit if I want, or I can use a lot. Most highlighters, they're either like on or off, they're either like really, really, really bright, really wet looking, or they're just like of a more subtle variety. Yeah, this is like the perfect glow. This is the glow that I'm wanting today. Nothing too crazy, nothing like too ultra shiny, super wet looking. This is just like a nice, like glossy sheen. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Love you, Prada. Okay, for eyebrows, this would have been the Tom Ford eyebrow gel. What was that called? Fiber brow gel? Was that what it was called? It's been so long. I still cannot get over the fact that they discontinued it. Anyway, I have found a replacement. It's the Dior Show Onset Brow Gel. I really like this brow gel, and I just started using black. I was using dark brown. I thought black maybe was just a little bit too harsh, but the black is so great because it's more like a soft black. It looks like a really, really dark, like brown gray. It's a perfect tone, absolute perfect tone. So anyway, I love this brow gel. It helps keep my brows in place with like a very soft touch, fills them in ever so slightly, makes them look fuller. Yeah, just perfect. This is absolutely my emotional support brow gel. Okay, eyeshadow. I think like back in the day, not that the Tom Ford eyeshadow, not like the formulas have changed that much, but I'm just not reaching for them as much. They really haven't come out with like a lot of new ones that I really enjoy. I do really like the creme formula that they came out with, like rose quartz, that whole like series of quads. I really like those. But if I'm going somewhere and I want to bring eyeshadow that I just know will work for any occasion, will work with pretty much any look that I want to pull together, I'm going to pull out my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. Pat McGrath, love the quality of her shadows. Those are so specific. I feel like unless I want that kind of a look, I'm not going to use a Pat McGrath shadow. And Tom Ford, unless I'm going to bring like a bunch of the quads, I don't really have like the variety of shades that I do in this one palette. And you know, Natasha Denona shadows, they're so wonderful. I love the mattes, I love the metallics, I love everything in between. They're very dependable. They're very dependable. My emotional support palette, this one, and the one before this was the glam palette, but that one definitely is much more glam. It's much more dramatic. But when she came out with the I Need a Nude, I was like, oh my God, it's like, you don't need anything else. So I'm just gonna do a real easy eye look here. I'm gonna use my Refer number 2 brush, flat shader brush, and I'm gonna go into Mesh, this like taupe shade down here. It's a matte. I think I need a fluffier brush actually. This is definitely an emotional support an emotional support brush. This Chikuhodo Z7, this is their eyeshadow brush. It's like a big, kind of fluffy blender. It's so good, so good. I feel like I can use this as a shader or a blender brush. Oh, and it's just like the softest natural hair. Oh, it is like the brush of all brushes. Anyway, let me go into Mesh. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for. This kind of shader brush, which is more dense and firmer, it really lays down the product, you know, in a heavier way. And I was looking for more of like a light wash of this color. Did you guys catch my previous video where I do the 2016-2026 looks? You know what I forgot? And this was so crucial. Actually, there was 2 parts of the 2016 eyeshadow look that I did. I forgot 2 things. We used to always do some sort of like brow highlight, you know, to really like, I don't know, I guess like emphasize the eyebrow, but we would put like a really stark like shadow underneath the brow and the inner corner highlight. I forgot those 2 things because I haven't really done that kind of look in so long. I just forgot. Anyway, I was just reminded as I was looking at these shades because I was looking at this Mia shade and I was like, oh, that would be such a beautiful inner corner highlight. And I was like, oh, forgot to do that in my other video. Okay, anyway, so I have this Mesh color down. I'm just gonna go in with like a little satin color. I'm gonna go in with this Whisper shade and just put that lightly over the Mesh. And I've got a Refer number 1 brush. I'm gonna go into Whisper, that over the lid. Next, I'm going to use a brush that I think is one of the best design eye brushes out there. This is the Esom W36 brush. It's angled, but it has a round ferrule, and this is sable hair, which just picks up product beautifully. It picks up product beautifully and lays it down beautifully because it has very long cuticles. It's just stunning. And I love using this brush to kind of give me a little bit of dimension in like the outer corner area. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up, let's see, I think I'm going to pick up Filigree, which is this darker brown metallic shade. And when I used to do, you know, more dramatic eye looks a few years ago, I used to do this technique all the time. I haven't really done it in a while because I'm just so into like the one and done eyeshadow, but I do feel like I'm wanting to do a little bit more with my eye looks these days. What I would do is pick up the product. So I just tapped it into Filigree, and then I would place it at the angle that I want and then just flick it over. And it would kind of give me this clean line. And then I can use the bristles, the hairs here, to really just blend that out. And I do believe this brush was designed to be like a crease brush. I mean, perfect for that. I'm not going to do anything that dramatic right now. I'm just going to keep this shadow just in the outer corner here and just really fade it out. Oh my God, so easy though. I love that flicking. I don't feel like I need to talk up the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This is probably her most popular palette, is my guess. Let's move over to mascara. I'm gonna curl my lashes. I'm gonna use my Refer 20R eyelash curler. And you know, when it comes to mascara, I definitely have favorites, but it's kind of also like just whatever I have open is what I'll use because, you know, they go bad really quickly. I don't wanna open up too many at once. But if I had the choice, like what would be my whoopee of a mascara, it would be the Surat Noir Lash Tint. I don't have that open at the moment. I actually had to get rid of the last one because it was getting too old. So I'm gonna use the Benefit Roller Lash, which I have to say is probably, I don't know, my top 3 for sure. But this is such a good mascara. I love the way it makes my lashes look. The only thing that I like about the Noir Lash Tint more than this is that it keeps my curl longer. This keeps it for a little while, but by the end of the day, I do feel like my lashes come down a little bit, but it's still very, very good compared to like most mascaras. Okay, and for eyeliner, you guys know, I fell in love with these Prada Lines. I think that's the full name. Durable Gliding Eye Pencil in shade number 4 Ember. This is the absolute best eyeliner I have ever used. It goes on like a dream. It's not too soft. It's like the Goldilocks of eyeliners. It's not too soft. It's not too firm. It smudges out, but again, it's not like too soft where it's like you just smudge it away. It's not too firm where it's like you have a hard time smudging it. It's just perfect, and it doesn't smudge. It doesn't smudge at all. It also applies like on my eyelid and in my waterline perfectly, either place. It's magical. They kind of act like almost between a gel liner and like a kohl liner. I'm like a fan of kohl liners. Those for me always just like applied really, really well. Sometimes they were a little bit hard. Sometimes they smudged. So they weren't always foolproof. It was like kind of depending on the formula. Gel eyeliners, I feel like are almost like too soft, where I'm always like crumbling the tip of the pencil. Yeah, not always my favorite, but this is, it's so good. It's so good. It's like really, it's like right in between those two. All right, so this is my emotional support eyeliner. Let's move on to lips. So for lip liner, I have a few favorites. I will say I have a few favorites, but the one that I've loved the longest, the one that captured my heart first, it's my first love, if you will, is the Sicily lip liner. And I'm holding up shade Nude. I love this nude shade, and I also love Natural Beige. Those are the two shades that I love. This nude is a little bit lighter than the Natural Beige, but I love this lip liner because it goes on so easily, right? It just glides right on, and then it doesn't budge. It's not one of those lip pencils where it glides like a gel, like it glides on and then you feel it set down, and then like you can feel it, like you can actually feel the lip liner. It's like so thick. This doesn't have that at all. It is a much thinner, I guess you could say, formula. It's definitely not a gel in any way. It's just a normal pencil, right? It's one that you have to sharpen. And you know who turned me onto this is Risa Does Makeup. Yeah, I just feel like it applies really nicely, right? I don't get like a super dark, scary line, but it's there. It's doing its job. It doesn't budge. It's the craziest lip. It's almost like this eyeliner. I don't know what the magic is because you can't feel it. You know, it doesn't like feel any different. So you can't really put your finger on like what it is. It just works so beautifully. I'm just gonna fill in a little bit. But that's the Sicily lip liner. And yeah, it's been a very good friend to me. Okay, can you guys guess which lip product? And I'm not sure what's going on with them. I've heard rumors that this is either being reformulated or discontinued or something. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about a reformulation or them getting rid of it and then basically coming out with some product that's basically the same thing, but with a different name. I don't want to hear it. If they get rid of these, I'm going to go on strike. But these are the Rouge Coco Flashes from Chanel. I just love them. I'm holding a Boy. This is probably the shade that I use the most. You guys know, between all the makeup that I have, I very rarely like use down a product, but this is so far down. It's also, look at that crazy shape my lip made. Anyway, I love the formula of these Rouge Coco Flash lipsticks. They're like juicy, they leave this beautiful sheen, but they're not like a gloss, but they're also not an oil. Like it's just such an interesting formula. And then because this line has been around for so long, there's so many shades, so many beautiful shades. But Boy is my favorite. And this is one of those lipsticks. It's like always, I would say 90% of the time, if I can't find it, it's in the bottom of my bag. It's in my latest travel bag. It's that product. I just love it. It's so easy to put on, but I feel like I have a very like polished sort of lip look. I feel like this is appropriate for work, for brunch, for going out, for a wedding, like anything. It's divine. It's divine. So here it is, a full face of my emotional support makeup, the most dependable, makeup in my collection, the besties in my collection, please let me know what your emotional support makeup is down below in the comment section. I loved doing this. I love putting on makeup that's just like, I'm not like trying new makeup. Like these are like my oldies but goodies. These are my tried and true products in my collection. Please let me know down below in the comment section what some of yours are. I would love, love, love to hear, like, what's that product that you just repurchase? Just mindlessly, without even thinking about it. You take it on every single trip. You cannot live without it. That product that if they were to discontinue, you would lose your mind, like me with the Rouge Coco Flash. Anyway, let me know down below in the comments section. I hope you had fun today. Please subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.